gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SHAHRIZAN. So I will begin the presentation with the introduction of Peaky Blinders. So, Peaky Blinders is a British period crime drama television series created by Stephen Knight, set in Birmingham, England. The series follows the exploit of the Peaky Blinders crime gang in the direct aftermath of the First World War. The fictional gang is closely based on a real urban youth gang of the same name, who were active in the city from the 1980s to the 1910s. The Peaky Blinders features an ensemble cast led by Cillian Murphy, Helen McCrory, and Paul Anderson, and such other actors. This show that has been premiered on 12 September 2013, telecast on BBC 2 until the 4th series, and then shifted to the BBC 1 for the 5th and upcoming 6th series. The 5th series premiered on BBC 1 on 25 August 2019 and finished on 22nd September 2019. So, the synopsis is that Peaky Blinders is an epic centre on a gangster family of Irish Romani, origin set in Birmingham, England, starting in 1919, several months after the end of First World War in November 1918. The story centres on the Peaky Blinders gang and their ambitious and highly cunning boss Dominic Shelby. The gang comes to the attention of Major Chester Campbell, a detective chief inspector in the Royal Irish Constabulary, sent over by Winston Churchill from Belfast, where he had been sent to clean up the city of the Irish Republican Army, communist gang and common criminals. Winston Churchill charged him with suppressing disorder and uprising in Birmingham and recovering a stolen catch of arms meant to be shipped to Libya.
What are you doing, Tommy?
Shoveling shit, Scully. That's like you.
And why are you doing that, Tommy?
To remind myself what I'd be if I wasn't who I am.
The first critical scene in this Peaky Blinders movie is when Tommy Shelby shovels horse shit. In this scene, Tommy Shelby, played by Cillian Murphy, walks into a house stall owned by the Shelby Company, takes off his trench coat, takes off his newsboy cap, and tosses them both to the side. He then picks out a pitchfork, sticks it into a steaming pile of horse shit, and begins pitching. His employee, Curly, who is already hard at work at the same task, stops and thinking what he's doing, in complete shock, and asks, "What are you doing, Tommy?" Tommy, in a bit out of breath from the shoveling, answered, "Shoveling shit, Curly, just like you." In this scene, we can see that Tommy shows a great leadership by showing to his worker that even though he is at the top, he will always help his workers who are in need.
You prefer Irish to Scotch?
Yes, Mr. Churchill.
Irish over Scotch, cigarettes over Havana cigars, and your mother was probably born in a tent.
Grandmother in a tent. My mother on a narrowboat.
And always happy to give smart answers to men born better than you.
A man needs to prove he is better than me, rather than show me his birth certificate. See, I don't have one, so...
The second critical incident in this movie is when the Shelby Company made a meeting with the family where everyone needs to be there. In this scene, we can see that the Shelby Company is doing a meeting regarding an issue. We can see that all people with Shelby power were included in the meeting to discuss about the issue. We can see that in the work communication, they will enter as well women and don't let them left, even though in ancient times, women and men is being discriminated. We can see that there is a good work ethic because the Shelby company does not abandon women and just conclude men in the meeting. They always conclude all men and women with powers in the meeting so that they can give an opinion regarding an issue. So that there's a man opinion and there's always a woman opinion. So there will be no discrimination regarding gender. So it is a good work ethic because the company does not discriminate men or women. They only do which one idea is better. That's why they conclude all of the men and women in the same meeting together.
John, coppers have lifted 10 of our men in Camden Town. The rest of them on the run.
Time to take him, Michael.
Business first.
They took Michael
I said
last
business
night.
first.
There.
Holly,
Picked him up
business
as well.
first.
I don't give a fuck about whiskey. I don't give a fuck about Billy Kitchen. I want my son out of prison now.
Thomas, I spoke to Johnny Duggs.
This meeting should just be family.
Oh, Canal.
It's family only. She's not blood,
Let her
Tommy.
speak.
Or is this a business? Have you forgotten
Enough!
about family?
Enough, Polly.
Don't need more fucking men. This life.
The third critical incident is when Tommy met Churchill in the meeting. We can see there is a professionalism in this. For this scene, there is professionalism regarding Tommy, who tried to persuade Churchill to make a professional agreement with him. Even though Churchill underestimated Tommy because he is being considered low lifestyle, but Tommy succeeded to persuade Churchill to the agreement. We can see that there are professionalism regarding Tommy because he can persuade Churchill to agree into his term agreement. This is why in workplace it is very important for someone to learn professionalism so that it is more easy to communicate, to make agreement with others so that the difficult things can be made easy and some term of agreement can be made with each others.
You bunch of fuckers, despite the provocation from the cavalry, no fighting. Oi! No fighting. No fucking fighting. No fighting. No fucking fighting! Good. Get the fucking...
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AZRI Izzat and I'm going to continue the presentation of the movie review. For my part, in the critical incident 4, we can see in this scene where Tommy Shelby's use aggressive communication. This shows a very bad work ethics Tommy Shelby's conduct. So this scene had been taken during the wedding of Tommy Shelby and his wife Grace. He gives speech to his associate that he wanted all of them to behave during the wedding day. He wanted the associate of the Peaky Blinders to not gamble, to do not conduct any fight or races or other things that might embarrass Grace's family. So, but in the way of Tommy Shelby's communicate with his associate is very aggressive and rude. He curses them a lot. He touches them with physical contact that might hurt his associate. So we can see that aggressive communication can be consist with shouting, cursing, mocking, threatening, and more. This behavior can give impact to others where they will feel their feeling has been violated. So in this scene we can see that even though he tells other people to not fight and don't cause any fighting scene, but in the end he pushes the waiter because that showing that he is not man of his word. and he is very aggressive communicator. So in the working places, we should have a harmony and a peaceful communication environment so that employees and workers can work in a peaceful and without any fear of being scolded by their leaders or bosses.
Fuck off. No.
Obey.
That's it. Obey, Arthur. No, I won't be. Obey, nobody get everywhere. In your face. Come here. Manny Bucatuzzi. The Falcons is fucking didn't know Jarvie. Adolphus pushed by Spelendi. Mocked the roll, needs to go to bits of bias, eh? Eh?
Come on, Arthur.
Shut up, John.
I will have a maid gather the buttons.
So, in this scene, the Peaky Blinders brother wanted to make a deal with the Russian family. They wanted to trade some of their product with the Russian family's jewelries. So, in order to make deals with the Russian families, they need to strip naked in front of two of the Russian family's members. This can be considered as a sexual harassment, where we can see that one of the group members of the Peaky Blinders, Arthur Shelby, feeling uneasy regarding what they need to do. So the Russian family asked them to strip naked so they can check for any tattoos and or any kind of marks that might associate with assassination group, because the Russian family is a very strict family that they don't want any backstabbers associate with their families. So we can see that this is a very unprofessional ways in doing deals with people, because in the modern day we can do documents, we can do agreements, partnership with other people with using letters and documents. This is a more proper ways in doing deals, so people can be trusted. So sexual harassments are very common in companies, so they can give what people want and get what people need in return. This is a very disgusting thing that happen these days, because the boss actually don't want the workers to work with them, but they want to spread their negative sexual intention towards the workers.
You can go, but you won't get far, Arthur.
All right, Tom.
I spoke to Moss last night. He told me that the Chief Constable of Birmingham has issued a warrant for your arrest. Murder, sedition, conspiracy to cause explosion. John, I'm coming for you as well. Murder, conspiracy to cause explosion. Michael.
What the fuck?
The murder of Hughes. Polly.
Wait a minute, what the fuck are you talking
Murder of Chief Inspector Chester Campbell.
Why are you
The people that we betrayed last night, they want to bring us down. Now, they control the police, they control the judges, they control the juries, they control the jails, but they do not control the elected government. Listen to me! Listen to me! So I have made a deal in return for giving evidence against them.
Well, fucking hang!
It's all taken care of. Lizzie collects all the money and bring it to the cellar. You will all get your money in due course when the police gets it.
For the last critical incident is when a plot twist of Tommy Shelby's doing plans behind the other members' back. After a terrible but a successful mission, a deal have come to an end where Tommy Shelby agreed to let go of his family members and the Shelby members to start a new life. But Tommy have already worked on a plan by his own without telling the others. This shocks other members because the charges that have been imposed to them are very heavy, because they will be hanged on what criminal action they have done during the mission. So this secrecy causes other family members lives because they have been charged with multiple cases. In terms of working environment, workers need to be informative and have the information by the leader. All employees will work under a pressure and stress if there is any secrecy behind the leaders. It is important for the leaders to be expressive and tell any problems, any plans, or even good news that need to be shared with the other employees regarding working places environment. So we can see that Tommy's being a bad leader during this scene because he made this plan without telling others, and he is the only one who can run away from the problem of the terrible mission that they have done with the family. So for the conclusion regarding the movie we reviewed, we can say that the build in the movie brings many moral value that we can be an example, and also things that are bad that we can learn so that we don't do it in the future of being in our working places. The TV series have highlighted the leadership skills, work ethics, how they work in the working places, and how the environment of the working places, the communication uses during the working environment, and many more. We need to take things more seriously while watching this Peaky Blinders because it is not all about the joy, all the sexual content, aggressive slurs, all the cursing used in the film. We also know that we need to know that during that era they are not civilized. The Peaky Blinders brother are not civilized, so we cannot idolize or characterize the example given in the movie. So in this era, working places should be more harmony and peaceful with a good use of word and attitude of a leader. So next is the critical incident shows us the impact that change a character and what drive the movie and the scene of the movie to be more interesting in the next season. So Peaky Blinders will launch his 6 seasons in February of 2022. We cannot wait to continue our watching for season 6 of the Peaky Blinders. That is all for me and my group mate Muhammad Syahir bin Muhammad SHAHRIZAN. Thank you.